Still trailing Thursday's train accident in Lagos involving a BRT vehicle belonging to the state government. Already 6 persons have been confirmed dead by the emergency responders and over 82 persons injured and rushed to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital in Ikeja.
Then reach this market.
Yeah.
But this one is just confident.
Yeah. It just came out
of that you want to overtake.
So that means other people don't stop.
Other people
don't stop.
They
just want to overtake and then run.
Well, the shuttle bus are passed for the reality, but that was what he saw before he crossed. Before he wanted, he was like, because the train was not very close to them. It wasn't very close, it was like somewhere here, and he was there. So he felt maybe he could maneuver before the train would come close.
I saw the train and the bus. So a lot of people is inside the bus. There's no people to rescue them out. So instantly I saw all these things. So I feel pain. So I rushed.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who visited the hospital, said 2 persons died at the scene of the accident and 4 others at the hospital. He said 85 passengers were involved in all, 42 with moderate injuries, 29 with serious injuries, while 8 have mild injuries.
We have 85 passengers that were in the bus from the immediate triage, that was conducted to separate, various degrees of injuries. 42 were classified as moderate injuries. 29 are serious injuries. 8 are mild injuries. And unfortunately, we have recorded 6 fatalities, which was what LASEMA, first respondents, talked about. But here in Lasot, we've had 4 additional deaths.
The Lagos State Governor announced a 3-day mourning for the state and the suspension of his governorship campaign during the mourning period.
That all our flags, because flags, political flags, should be, raised, and have mass for the next 3 days. We're actually also declaring, a 3-day, mourning for us as a state, so that we can mourn our staff very, very well, deeply, and we can have time to go around the family members and just, commensurate with them. I will also be suspending my campaign for the next 3 days. There will not be any form of public engagement or any form of campaign.
Meanwhile, the state government has dispelled reports that the victims of the train crash were not given adequate medical treatment.
Seeing here that people are lying down there is what we call a triage center, an emergency center set up by medical personnel for them to be able to sort out people who are victims. There are some who will be treated here and be allowed to go home. There are some that will need admission and they will need to stay for some other days, so that you don't pack people who have their arms broken with people who are merely traumatized. That is why you have this kind of center to be able to sort them.
Away from that, now the Independent National Electoral Commission has indicated plans to appeal a court judgment granting the request of 2 plaintiffs to use their temporary voting cards. The Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Rotimi Oyekomi, in a statement expressed the intention of the Commission to approach the appellate court. He said the Independent National Electoral Commission has been served a copy of the judgment delivered by the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Armed Forces of Nigeria say troops of the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Save and other operations in the south region of the country have arrested a total of 71 criminals and aborted the theft of oil products worth 173 million naira within the last 2 weeks. Director Defense Media Operations Major General Musa Dan Madami disclosed this during the bi-weekly media briefing in Abuja.
Conduct of Operation Octopus Grip and other operations in the south-south zone of the country. Within the week in focus, discovered and destroyed 57 illegal refinery sites, 341 storage tanks, 31 wooden boats, 260 ovens, and 15 dugout pits. Troops also recovered 209,000 liters of crude oil, 145,000 liters of automotive gas oil, 45,000 liters of premium motor spirits, 27 variety of weapons, 468 assorted ammunition, 2 speedboats, 2 outboat engines, 8 vehicles, and 4 motorcycles.
Lagosians are protesting the continued scarcity of naira. Customers who besiege various commercial banks across the state complained of lack of access to their money.
They can give us. That is 200. Why giving us old notes? And they say they cannot collect. When we spend it out there, they will not collect. And the bankers too are not collecting it. So what they want us to do?
They have come up to address us that they can pay us old notes, but they are not going to receive it.
These senior citizens lament undue considerations for them.
A former deputy president of the Senate, Ike Ekweremadu, has told a court in London that he was advised by his doctor against seeking a kidney donor from among his family members. Ekweremadu and his wife, Beatrice, are currently facing charges in the United Kingdom after they allegedly lured a young man from Nigeria to harvest his organ for their ailing daughter, Sonia, who is also standing trial. The lawmaker was last year arrested and had been in the custody of the UK authorities after they received complaints from the young man about alleged plans to harvest his organ. President Cyril Ramaphosa says he is concerned about the ongoing wage strike by public workers that is affecting essential services in the country. The strike by the National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union started on Monday and has the workers demand 10% pay hike after rejecting the government's 3% increase. At least 4 people have died as the workers reportedly prevented patients from entering numerous hospitals and clinics in the country. And for some sports stories, it's the losers final, but a win for either Nigeria or Tunisia will compensate to an extent for their inability to qualify for tomorrow's gold medal game at the ongoing Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations holding in Egypt. Nigeria lost their semi-final games to the Gambia 0-1, just as Senegal defeated Tunisia 3-0 in their last 4 games on Monday. All the 4 teams remaining in the competition have already qualified for this year's FIFA Under-20 World Cup built to hold in Indonesia. And that's the Citizen FM News at noon. I am Lawrence Omoite.